Hello and welcome to another Project Diablo 2 video. I am Kordesh and today we're going to be going over some Necro tips as well as my progress with the League start. So let's go ahead and get on into it. Alright, so the first thing that I want to talk about is a little bit of tips on getting started as a Necromancer. So when you get to Hell for the first time and you might be struggling, one of the best things you can do is buy one of these arenas and you take it, put it right next to Akara, and then now we can just trade with Akara. So if we look at these different wands, get yourself a loot filter. So this one has plus 2 poison and bone, 20 FCR, pretty cool. This has plus 5 to weaken, not really relevant. And you kind of just look around like that. So nothing really there. And then you go back in. And I pretty much easily found a plus 6 to fire golem at one point. So I sold that for I think like 10 to 15 rolled stone shards on day 1. And it's a really easy and quick way to kind of get going. So here's another plus 3 to skill tree. So that's just plus 3 to summoning skills. Now, a lot of these, notice this one, it requires almost 700,000 gold. So you're going to need some gold. So definitely pick up all the items that have 35 million and just keep doing that. So here's plus 4 to bone prison. That's not relevant. Plus 3 to summoning again. And yeah, just kind of keep on doing that. Now, if somebody is in the town with you as you're doing this, it's not going to be great. So, all right, here's plus 5 to amp damage. That's kind of cool. Interested in that a little bit. And notice that some of these also have like -8 to enemy poison resistance, so you can get like some pretty crazy stuff. Something similar to like a Death's Web. And yeah, here's like a lower resist, here's plus 3 to skill tree. And I'll just keep doing this a little bit longer until we find one big hit. So here's plus 4 to Blood Golem. Try and find a plus 5 or a plus 6. But it's really fast if you have a loot filter. So here's a plus 4 again. It is to raise Skeletal Warrior. So if you're doing that, it's not too bad. And again, it's not like the fastest thing you could be doing, but with the loot filter and the changes to affixes, it makes shopping these wands like really powerful and safe. This is a really easy way to get started. All right, here we go. So this is a plus 5 to Bone Spirit. Pretty cool. All right, that's kind of just showcases what you can be doing. Sorceresses can also do it, but since it's stabs only, I don't feel like it's as good. But for Necro, it's really, really powerful. So that's it for the tips. Now I'm going to go ahead and kind of talk about my character. Right now I'm level 88, and if you look at my stuff, I've got 2 mals, I've got some Worldstone shards, puzzle box, puzzle piece. Right now we're doing pretty good. So we have a plus 3 curse helmet. We have plus 3 curse amulet with half restoration. I have a 3/2 black hand key. And I put a 14 all-res jewel in there. I have a Skin of the Viper Magi for resistances and, FCR and skills. The Sacred Totem is what I'm currently using. I'm not sure if this is going to be my in-game setup or what, but I'm kind of going for... My character name is 0 DPS, so I'm kind of going for a high-level curse with the changes to curses. So you can see amplified damage is -73 PDR, which is bananas. Like, that's super good. -73 on lower resist as well. So I decided this totem gives plus 3 to Necro and then plus 2 to both low res and amplified damage. So it's a plus 5 item for those things. Also, revives are really good just as kind of a frontline and a meat shield. So it's really good for party play. I like it. So I'm trying this out. I don't know if it's going to be better than Dark Force Spawn or what. This one has a ton of resistances. I slammed lightning res. So, I mean, plus 103 lightning res is crazy. My lightning res is currently 122. So really, really good. I have trainings for the plus 2 curses, 20 FCR. I have a BK skill ring. I have an Arax that's 15%. And then I've got this 10 FCR with half freeze duration to combo with this to get freeze immunity. And then I'm currently using Alders just for the run walk and, the fire resist. So if we look at my resistances, pretty good except for poison res. Poison res is bad. Let's go ahead and look at the mercenary. Oh, I think my merc's actually dead. Let me go ahead and grab that. So my mercenary is very weird. So I've been kind of jumping around different mercs. So the first thing I want to mention is early on I used a meditation Act 1 mercenary with Harmony. There's a very cheap rune word, Tier Ith Soul Co. And this gives vigor. You need vigor for your revives or else it's going to be way too slow. So this is really important. I used that early on. And then after that, I used a Might Mercenary. And the reason why I used a Might Mercenary is because I was playing with a friend. He had a Faith already built out. And so I wanted a high-level Might. And so if I put all the IK set on an Act 5 Might Mercenary, dude had like 4 to 6k attack damage, and he was just absolutely crushing it. But since my other friend was so geared out, he's currently playing Summons on. He has a faith in a Templar's Might or whatever, the one that gives Might aura. So we already had Fanaticism, we already had Might. So I decided to go ahead and build a Mist, which is pretty expensive, Cham and Gull, but I had a perfect Grand Matron bow. We got the 14 concentration aura. And the reason why I opted for this over the Pride is because if I'm soloing with this, it's obviously not as good. Like if I was using a Faith, it would be better. If I was using Faith and Vigor aura on the Fireberk and T-Might to get the Might aura, like this would all be better. But in party play, it's very often that concentration aura is not brought to the table. And because of that, I wanted to bring it here. The rest of the gear is pretty much terrible. This is resistances and dual leech. I'm using this for like IES and just stats, whatever. I had these, might as well get some magic find. This thing just has 124 ED. These are atrocious. I need to make some actual arrows, but I just switched to the setup. And yeah, it's important. So as far as the build, this is the important thing. The build is legit a kind of like a 0 DPS. So the idea is we're maxing out curse. Torch, Annie, some random stuff, and these are all curse skillers. These are all very inexpensive. So the Annie is atrocious. The Torch is amazing. And okay, let's go ahead and go over the skills. So the idea is we max out Curse Mastery for 3 curses. Amplify damage, negative 73%, really good. Negative low resist for negative 73%, also very good. And then I picked 1 point up in Decrepify. Now I could put additional points in this, and I might. I'm kind of mulling it over. But the physical damage resistance only goes up 1% every 3 points. So it's not the best. However, the fact that physical damage resistance stacks additively with amplify damage, if I pump this up, like we're probably gonna get to like minus 100%. So as far as doing damage, I picked up revives, and I have 1 point in Blood Warp. I have 1 point in Golem Mastery. I need to get that out of it. This is kind of like what I used for leveling as well. So I need to max out revives, and revives is really good. The damage and elemental damage is all, it's all listed there. I put a couple points in Desecrate, but to be honest, I don't know if that's the right thing or the wrong thing. The idea is if you have, the idea for this build is basically, if I have a monster that has, plus 20 to levels over the other monsters, and then it also has some increased damage, and I'm cursing it for, applying all these debuffs to the other targets, like it'll win regardless of if I'm in a tier 1, a tier 2, a tier 3, a dungeon, whatever. So that was the idea, is like basically make the front line with the revives, get 12 of them with the Sacred Totem, and then just curse things really effectively. Now, Weaken is also uncapped for the minus target's defense, but I don't want to put points into it because really, if somebody needs me to strip all of their defense to hit with the attack rating, then that's kind of a bad setup or build anyway. So, and this is really only used against bosses like, map bosses and things that are immune to Decrepify. So I'm probably going to end up respecking and pulling points out of Desecrate and putting it into Decrepify just to kind of pump that up more. But I'm not entirely sure. I'm mostly just playing party play. As far as my stats, we have enough strength for gear, nothing in dex. Vitality is pumped up. Really, my plan is next level, I'm going to put point in bone armor, and then we're going to probably start maxing out energy a little bit more. I want about 1,000 life, and then so that's going to pump up vitality until I have 1,000 life. Then everything else is going to be going into energy, so I can have these big fat bone armors to prevent me from dying to physical damage. So that's kind of where I'm at with the build and the gear and the everything. Really good. As you can see, my kills is atrocious because I am a 0 DPS. I don't kill stuff. But I play with a Summons on, I play with Meteor Sorceress, and I play with Frozen Orb Sorceress a lot. And, we've just been having fun blasting. Yeah, and it's been really good. All right, that's it for the video. We're going to do kind of an outro with a Uber Trist, just to kind of showcase what that looks like. I'm going to have a video of us doing it like day 1 with like a Wizard Spike and some other garbage gear, so it's not going to be particularly fast. We can do it much faster now, but we got it pretty early. So thank you, and I'll see you next time.
The time has come for you to destroy Mephisto's Soul Stone. Take the stone to the Hell Forge. Place it upon the forge, and strike it soundly with the hammer. Only by doing this can you prevent Mephisto from manifesting in this world ever again.